This is the AP version of Barack Obama's long-form birth certificate. I want to show you something on this that you can't find looking on Obama's version from the White House. Move this up to the first line. You might recall that Governor Abercombie, during his search, told the press that his investigation was showing that there was actually something handwritten in the archives. Also, Chiyome Fukino claimed that the birth certificate was half typed and half handwritten. Well, they were both telling the truth. Here's the certificate number. Look at the number 1. It's been outlined and then filled in. The 6, same thing. It's been outlined and then filled in, just like we used to do as children when we were filling in a coloring book. Notice these two 1s are different. It's because they were both drawn and filled in by hand. Here's another one. It's different. This one looks like Barack Obama. He's got a big floppy ear there. That's actually a question mark somebody drew there. And then there's 1, 2, 3 little white spots. They look like drips of sweat. Look at the number 4. It started out as the top of a number 1, and then you can see they drew a line there, here, here to change it into a number 4. You can see how they got sloppy filling it in on this 6, and they got out of the lines. Here's Obama's name. The 2 I's are different. The 2 A's are different. This one is leaning to the left. This one is leaning to the right. This one has a diagonal crossbar. This one has a horizontal crossbar. Here's his middle name. The 2 S's are different. Here's his first name, Barack. Notice a nice gentle sweep. You can actually see the end where somebody touched down the pen and started making this gentle sweep for the R. When we get to his father's name, you'll see that that R is actually a vertical line. Let's move down to the next line here. Here's his sex, male. It's spelled M-A-L-E. Notice the E has a diagonal crossbar in it. All the other E's are perfectly horizontal, but not that one. Here's August. You can see how the U's are shaped different. The S is actually accidentally closed up here. And you notice on all the T's on this document that the tails of them are all shaped differently. Here's the year 1961. On early typewriters, they didn't have a numeral 1, so you would use a small L. But what happened here? This one's fine. What happened to this one? These things were drawn by hand. As the island Oahu, you can see a diagonal line drawn right through the A there. That doesn't happen on a typewriter. Typewriter letters are made out of metal. They do not flex. They do not change, no matter how hard you're striking the key. These 2 U's are different. The 2 L's are different. The 2 O's are different. Notice how cockeyed this H is. It's the right side of it looks like it's sagging. Here's the name of the hospital, Kapiolani. Here's the first A. It looks like a 2. Compare that A to this A. You see the difference? The 2 I's are different. Notice this one's got a nice horizontal line to it. This one sweeps down on an angle. Maternity. You can see again here how they didn't quite fill in all the letters. Again, big horizontal and rectangular space on the bottom of that T, different from the other T's. Both of the O's in this word are different. Both of the L's are different. The A, big loop, you can see where somebody actually came down as they were forming that by hand. Hospital. Look at how fat this L is and how they, again, left gaps in there. Again, a different shaped A. Looks like the 2 in Kapiolani, but it's different from that one. Hawaii. 2 I's on Hawaii. They're both different. Look at the L's in Honolulu. See how much different they are? Look at the U's. These were not typewritten letters. These were all drawn by hand. Oahu. Again, another shape given to the letter A. Here's Honolulu again. The O's, the U's, the L's don't match the other words, and they don't match each other in this word. Drop down. This is the mother's address, actually the grandparents' address. There's 3 A's, and they're all different. Again, gaps where they didn't fill in. Compare again these 2 A's. One swoops up, one comes down. Cockeyed W and highway. Go to the next line. Here's Barack's father's name now, and here's the different R that I was telling you about. You see how that comes straight down, whereas the other one you could see how they actually started over in here and came down. They had a gentle sweep. This is just a straight vertical line. Notice how this A is cockeyed, how the B leans to the left. The 2 S's, again, are completely different. Obama. This letter has a gap on the left side. We're going to see another M like that, only the gap is over here on the right. Here's African. What happened to this A? It's just all squiggly. University. Look how heavy that T is there and how they didn't fill in the middle. A lot of these letters, how they went out of the line as they were widening them and filling them in and shaping them. Again, these are things you can't see on the other form. Look at the T on this, how it's got a rectangular shape on the inside of it compared to this one. It looks like a fish hook. They didn't quite finish this D. There was a thin line there, and you could see how they were going over it with a pen again. A little heavier ink on it. Didn't quite complete it. Africa. You can actually see there's a very tiny lowercase f inside the letter A. What's that doing there? Notice how this E has a big angle to it, whereas all the other E's are just a perfect 90-degree angle there, and they would have a straight bar. This one goes up on an angle. These things do not happen with typewritten letters. Notice how this T is a little cockeyed there. It's supposed to be a capital T. N, both of the N's are slightly different and they both clash against each other. Dunham, here's the M I was telling you about. Now it's got a gap on the right instead of on the left. Caucasian, once again, how they drew in between the letter there. They were closing it up. Followed these letters up. They didn't properly fill them in. N, none. The E's all followed up there. Look at this S in Kansas. It looks like it started out as the numeral H. Both of these S's have a vertical line drawn right through them, like they were started out with a different letter, but this S was closed the wrong way here. So you can actually see how somebody took a pen and made a C on the bottom and closed it up. This is Wichita 18. You can actually see that was a capital F, and then it was changed into an H. Clearly these letters were not typed. They were handwritten. Thanks for listening.